Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch.
The Grammys. Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to Sisters Who Watch. Howdy.
I'm Shelby.
And I'm Laura, and we're sisters who watch everything. TV, movie, sports, concerts, even way too long award shows. We love to watch, we love talking about it even more. Today we're watching the Grammys.
Yes, the 67th Annual Grammy Awards.
Woo woo. And before we get into it, PSA, y'all, make sure you're giving Sisters Who Watch 5 stars wherever you listen. Rate, download, subscribe, follow us at Sisters Who Watch across all social media platforms. Give us a comment, give us a like, and buy our merch on our website, sisterswhowatch.com. Thank you.
Just a bit of a quick background. Hopefully everyone knows what the Grammys are, but these are the annual award show awarding the best in music from the Recording Academy.
Yes. Are you a Grammys fan, Shelby?
Not really, because historically, the artists I usually want to win don't really win.
I know.
And the performances in the past have been like weird mashups, or they're not always like as entertaining. And it's such a long show. Like, it's so long. And because they have like such a wide array of artists being celebrated, it's like, not really my genre. Like, I don't really care. So I think it's sometimes hard to be a show for me, since they're appealing to so many different people. But this year I was curious because, one, it's the first major award show post wildfires in LA. So I knew that they were going to do a lot to celebrate LA and support LA. And
Yes.
two, Cowboy Carter was up for Album of the Year, and Beyonce had never won. So I was really curious to see if she finally would. Hence why we both have our cowboy hats on.
Cowboy Carter. Yes. I also don't usually watch the Grammys. I feel like the next day I just kind of see the clips online. I read who wins. I feel like the actual show isn't usually that great. But everyone was talking about the Grammys this year, right? Because you had so many heavy hitters nominated, right? Beyonce, Taylor Swift, going head to head in so many different categories, right? Kendrick Lamar. And this was the year we talked about the year of the girl with Barbie and everything. I feel like 2024 was the year of the girl in music. It was like girly pop, like Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan, right? All these people are just blowing up. So it was really cool. Charli XCX. So I feel like women dominated the pop scene,
which we love. I'm here for the girlies. And so that was nice. I think it was like for Album of the Year, like only 2 of the nominees were men. Everyone else were women. It was like, yes, ladies,
love it.
Go get it. We love to see it. And, spoiler alert for the winners, people were joking. It was literally like the ladies and Kendrick. That was it.
The women really popped off. Like, So it was exciting to see all these women perform, see what happened. So I feel like the expectations for the Grammys this year were high. Would you agree?
Yes. Not only Beyonce, but Chappell Roan. I said that right? Chappell?
Yeah, Chappell. Shelby and our whole family think it was like Chappelle, right? Like Dave Chappelle. I was like, no, Chappell.
Chappell Roan.
I can't.
I finally learned, people, it's Chappell. You had her, Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, like just so many girlies. I was like, whoa, pop girlies for the moment.
Pop girlies for the win.
Yeah.
Yes. So also, it was interesting in Trevor Noah's opening monologue. He was saying Taylor Swift, a head-to-head against Beyonce. Taylor Swift has won 4 Album of the Years, right? Which is wild, which is a record. And he was saying that she could break her own record this year if she won. And Beyonce has never won. So I feel like this was a big storyline everyone was talking about. We were talking about this when we reviewed the Beyonce Bowl. So go check out that episode. And we were like, let's not get our hopes up because Beyonce, everyone thought she was going to win for Renaissance. I feel like everyone thought that. And then when she didn't and lost to Harry Styles, I feel like the internet was so upset about that.
Brutal.
And not even Harry Styles' best album. Not at all. So I feel like this year, both of us are like, we hope it's Cowboy Carter. But if it's not, we'll be okay.
I also think coming in, it felt like it was a very competitive show. Like, Best New Artist had Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan, Doechii, like
Shabuzi.
Like,
a lot of people.
Album of the year, Brat versus whatever, Sabrina Carpenter's,
Short and sweet.
the Midwest Princess.
Midwest Princess.
It felt like it was a very competitive show. Like every category, I was like, ooh, there's some heavy hitters. So I think that was exciting. Like no matter who won, it was going to be a good outcome.
So what did you think of Trevor Noah overall? He's been the host of the Grammys a lot.
He's fine. Like, and it's tough because I do like him as a comedian. I just think sometimes when you're the host of award shows, it's hard to pop. And he didn't really pop for me. Do you agree?
Yeah, he was fine. He was there. You know, he had some cute jokes here and there. I feel like the audience wasn't really into Trevor Noah. Didn't it kind of feel like that?
And that's the problem with award shows. Yeah. People are talking and networking and taking photos. Like, it felt like it was hard for him to like corral the room.
Yeah, I agree. Whereas we just saw Nikki Glaser do really well at the Golden Globes. Like, she really popped. So Trevor Noah, he was fine. He was fine. Were there any presenters that kind of stood out to you?
I thought it was funny when Miley Cyrus presented Record of the Year, I think, because she won the year before.
I can buy myself flowers. Yeah.
Song. I thought it was funny how she was like, I'm so glad to be here. She was like, Beyoncé, we won today, da-da-da. And mostly my dress. Look how good I look.
That was so wild.
She did look good, but I was like, that is crazy to just call out. Like, yeah, look at my dress.
Love it. And I know Two Most Wanted, we both love that song. So good. So happy that won. Yes. Someone else, I feel like everyone was kind of talking about Cardi B. Isn't it so funny? She's just having a good time. You know, she's been going through a lot. She hasn't made an album since like 2018.
In a minute. 2018
I know.
was the last one.
Yes. She's been putting out singles here and there and featuring. But yeah, I do like Cardi B's music. But, you know, she's her whole personal life. She's got to figure that out. So, you know, but I was happy to see her. She looked amazing. I loved her dress. And she was so funny. I mean, she's just so charismatic. So it was really cool for her to present Best Rap Album. You know, she was, I think, the second woman to ever win. And then Doechii won, and she was the third woman to ever win it. So it was really cool seeing her present that. So that was a standout moment for me.
I completely agree. She looked great, and it meant more the fact that Cardi gave the award to Doechii. Like, you felt it. You're like, ooh.
100%. And speaking of Doechii, I mean, she was just one of my favorite speeches. You know, I don't know what was up with me, but I was crying so much while watching this award show. Watching Doechii write, like, she's, like, alternative rap. And the first time I heard of her, I think it was, like, maybe 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I think she maybe came to San Francisco, and people were like, Doechii. Mm-hmm. And I was like, who is that?
You went?
No, I didn't, because I didn't know who she was. Mm. And then she had a single called What It Is. What did you do? And that song is so good. So I became obsessed with that song like last year, like maybe a year and a half ago. And then she came out with her album that just won. And I feel like she was everywhere, all over the internet. Did you see her Stephen Colbert performance?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it is so good. She performs like Denali's a River. And she, in her braids, she's wearing a lot of Fulani braids right now, and they were all connected with like 3 dancers. It was really, really cool. Everyone checked out that performance. Mm-hmm. And her Tiny Desk concert, I also watched that came out in the past few months. That was also fantastic. I just feel like I kept on seeing Doechii on my feed. I feel like she's kind of like maybe like a female Kendrick Lamar. Like, she's really smart. It feels like very smart and intellectual rap. And she's just really unique. I feel like she has a great perspective. So I'm really happy that she is being celebrated right now, because she's not your normal typical rapper, right? We kind of joke that everyone looks like Tyla and Doja Cat and
Lotto and Cardi,
Sweetie, Glorilla. Like, they all kind of look the same, but I think she's like
teeny and fair. That's
right. Nicki, Cardi, right? They all of the female rappers kind of look similar. So to see someone like Doechii, right? She talked about being how it doesn't matter how dark you are, no matter like who you are, I'm a testimony that you can do it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like it was just really, really good. So I loved her speech.
And I like how she had her mom up there and like was giving props to
Yes.
her mom. I thought that was really sweet.
Another speech I really loved was Alicia Keys. Her tribute. I mean, we're such Alicia
One
Keys
of like my
fans.
favorite artists. I grew up.
I
I remember
know.
the first CD I had was like Fallen.
She is so good.
I was like obsessed with her. Grew up on her. Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah, we're obsessed. We loved her as children and still do. And they talked about her being a Broadway producer.
She won the musical album for
Yeah, she won the musical album for as a Grammy. Yes. And so me and my mom, we saw it during Christmas. It was like a few days. It was in January, first week of January, I think. And Hell's Kitchen was so fantastic. We were crying like so much.
Wow.
Yes, I remember I was during right before the intermission, there's this really emotional song talking about like, you know, just Black perseverance, and mom was like in tears and I was so shook. It was like really emotional, and the ending, can't recommend enough. Go see Hell's Kitchen on Broadway. They still have the original cast, which is always the best. So it was just really emotional. So I'm so proud of Alicia Keys. She's fantastic. And she deserves this award. She deserves to be celebrated because she's an icon. Absolutely.
Her outfit was
stunning.
Unreal. I was like gold earrings and like the neck and just it was like you looked and it was like like a gasp.
Absolutely. And I loved how in her speech she was talking about diversity. She was like, diversity is not a threat. She was like,
come on. I was like, preach.
Preach, say it louder, say it louder. And she was like, we need to celebrate our women producers as well, not just Pharrell and Dr. Dre and Quincy. So I loved that shout out as well.
Yeah, her line was, DEI is not a threat, it is a gift.
Period. Queen. That's it.
So yes. Good. And then of course we have to talk about Kendrick.
That's it. Of course.
Very LA. It was great. Love that he just like shouted out LA, like the various like neighborhoods and cities. And it literally, I saw online people being like, because Kendrick did it, I can be a hater and win. It was just hilarious.
So funny.
One for like a spite song, you know? It's insane. You like
Kendrick is so funny. Like the fact I literally was thinking this, I'm like, is someone checking in on Drake? Because this
mental health check. Someone makes sure he's okay.
Someone knocked on his door because, I mean, he won everything. He hasn't even come out with an album. Like, this is insane. And he swept all the categories, all on a song about how much, you know, he doesn't like Drake, which is insane. So I think it's iconic. And the fact that he won for being a hater, cheers. Cheers to you, Kendrick.
I mean, that was honestly one of my biggest surprises. The fact that he swept. Again, record and song of the year were like big categories. Like those had a like, you know, really good songs. So I was like shook that he won both. I was like, ooh.
Period. And I mean, when you think about it, that song was the song of the year, right? Like it was everywhere. It was everywhere. It broke the internet. He performed it like 5 times in a row at his LA show. That song was the song and record of the year. So I completely agree with it.
I support it.
Yes.
I just was like shook because I was like, oh, he unreal.
Yes. Really, and mustard. How do they say it?
Mustard.
He got a lot of love last night.
Love it for him. He's gonna be at Coachella, so that'll be exciting for us.
Yes, we'll be at Coachella. I don't know if we've told the people. But yes, if you're gonna be at Coachella, let us know. We're planning on being there, so let's connect. Yes, we're so excited. He's gonna be at Coachella. So I've been listening to he's on so many songs. I didn't even know he was on Not Like Us. So yeah, Mustard's killing it.
The fact that next week Kendrick's performing the Super Bowl halftime show, like what a week. It just is kind of like unfathomable for my brain.
And he's going on tour. He's about to go on tour with SZA. Like he's Kendrick Lamar, and he hasn't even dropped an album. He's just living his best life, dissing Drake, and Drake is trying to sue him. What do you think of this whole Drake lawsuit? It's embarrassing, right?
I was listening to the Higher Learning podcast. Shout out to Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay.
Yes.
And they were breaking it down because I was trying to understand why Drake is suing, Universal Music or whatever
Right.
company is, and Kendrick. And it's just kind of embarrassing. Like, it feels
Girl.
like he is not responding well to this.
No.
And even if you think there was a conspiracy or they were like purposely promoting Not Like Us, the way to get your fans support and get people back in your corner is not this. This looks
No.
kind of like embarrassing.
It's
The
a bad
best
look.
way is to drop like a really banger song and people will forget about it. Like,
Yeah.
he is like the popular rapper. Like, if you just drop like your newest Hotline Bling and everyone's dancing to it, no one's
No
gonna
one's
care.
gonna care. In a year, no one's gonna care about this if you just keep on putting out good music. But the fact that he's doing this lawsuit, it's just making it worse, and people are disliking Drake even more. Who is his publicist? Like, who is his lawyer, his manager? This was such a bad idea. So yeah, Kendrick is
Ugh.
just exponentially succeeding Drake. So good luck to Drake. Okay, we have to talk Beyonce, of course. What did you think? Okay, first her reaction when she won Best Country.
The theme was iconic. Her reaction, like, what? And then Blue Ivy, like, come on, mom. Why are you surprised?
I was like,
there.
get up. I'm like, girl, Beyonce, you knew that she was like, I wasn't expecting this. Girl, you knew that you were probably gonna win.
So I thought that was hilarious.
Hilarious.
I actually think she was shocked given how country music has treated her, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, it was important for her to, finally get that recognition for this album. We said this, I think, when we reviewed Cowboy Carter last year with Sequoia Holmes from Black People of Paramore. It's hilarious and so ironic that Beyonce will finally win Album of the Year for a country album. Like, you can't make it up.
Ugh. Oh my gosh.
Poetic justice at its finest.
I know. Okay, so I feel like Cowboy Carter is such an important album, and I think when it first came out, we were still kind of reacting to it, and I was explaining to a friend who's a Swiftie, and as a Beehive member, we were talking about the two albums, and I was explaining why Cowboy Carter is so important. Right, Black folks have just been excluded for so long, and especially in the wake of Kamala Harris, like to be proud and American and embracing, your country roots is so powerful. Like, that is radical right now. Beyonce's Cowboy Carter is radical, because this country, right? They're trying to erase diversity, So the fact that she's like, I'm Black, I'm country, and she wins after the Grammys have shut her out for years, right? She said this was 25 years in the making. She kept on saying that. So like, this album is just so important. And it just shows like Beyonce can do anything and like we can do anything, So I think her winning is like, I don't think anyone can really understand how important this is for our community, for Black women, and also just music in general. Like, anything is possible. Who thought Beyonce was ever going to make a country album and then win a Grammy? This is insane. This is insane.
Never, never, never.
Yes. And I love how she just said, this is such an honor. I just hope we keep opening doors, Like, she also shouted out Linda Martell, our Black country queen. And yeah, I think Beyonce was just so overwhelmed. She was like,
I was shook by how short her speech was.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted more, but I get it. I think she rather have kept it short than like rambled and been overcome with emotion.
Yeah.
Like, I think she was like, short, sweet, say what I can get out of my mouth right now, and then get out of here to really process.
Exactly. I think, yeah, she was all just processing everything, rightfully so. Yes. And just some highlights and facts I want to share that I found online. For the first time in 33 years, the big three categories at the Grammys were won solely by Black artists. Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Record of the Year. Black History Month. A lot of people are being like, this is the Black Grammys. Like, what's going on? It felt like Black people were just dominating. We were being celebrated. Honestly, I'm glad I watched it. I know.
Given what's happening in our country.
Given the state.
Plane crashes and DEI. Look what we can do.
I
Don't come
know.
look at
Don't
us.
come for us. And there are only 4 Black women who won Album of the Year in Grammy history. Isn't that crazy?
Who joined
So,
Natalie Cole, Whitney Houston, and Lauryn Hill.
yes, Natalie Cole in 1992, Whitney Houston in 94, Lauryn Hill in 99. Beyonce is the first Black female artist to win this award in the century. It's been 26 years since a Black woman has won Album of the Year. That is so disturbing. That is so disturbing. Yes. And Beyonce is the most awarded artist in Grammy's history. That's been a fact. But she's the first woman to win in 5 different genres.
Iconic. It really just shows how like prolific she is and how she's pushing the boundaries.
I know. Yeah, she's iconic. She's a legend. She is the moment. Come on now. And wasn't she named like the best artist of the century by, it was like Rolling Stone. Yeah, I
or
think it was Rolling
Billboard or
Stone.
one of those companies.
One of those.
Very fitting.
Oh my gosh. I literally was crying. When I found out, because I was like out with friends on Sunday night, and then I was checking the notifications on my phone, and then I saw New York Times saying Beyonce won Album of the Year. I literally was like, I like screamed. And I feel like when I told people were screaming. And then when I was watching the videos and the clips, I literally was crying. I was like, this is so important. This is so surreal. All of it. All of it.
Okay. I watched it live. I had a meeting, and the second it ended, I was like, I gotta turn on the Grammys. And I was like, thank goodness I was able to catch like the last hour and a half, and I saw Beyonce win it all.
And Blue Ivy just looked so incredible. Didn't she look gorgeous?
She does not look 12 or 13 or whatever she is.
No. Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Okay. Performances. We gotta get into the performances. We could talk about Beyonce for hours. So, did any performances stand out to you?
I thought Charli XCX's was crazy. And so that's why it stood out. And over the holidays, our trio of siblings watched some of her music videos, and I was like, whoa, like she pushes the boundaries. And the fact that she did that on the Grammy stage, like humping the floor, wearing lingerie, throwing like undergarments all around the stage, I was like, how is this allowed? This is like broadcast TV. I was like, the meme from The Bachelor, it's like, how are they doing this when they know Yosef's daughter's
at home?
That's literally watching. What it was like.
I can't. I know, poor Yosef's daughter. Oh my gosh. That is actually so funny. Yeah, that definitely stood out. On my feed in the morning when I was on it, Instagram, everyone was talking about Charli XCX's performance. So, and the performances were not on YouTube yet. So I was like, let me just watch the Grammys. So I was kind of fast forwarding through things. And yeah, her performance was wild, but it's her, right? It's Brat. It was Brat. And I love Brat as a mentality, as a lifestyle. I think it's so funny, and I think it resonated with so many of us. I feel like it resonated a lot with millennials and like the Gen Zs, just embracing like just being a mess, being whoever you want, being outside, just embracing who you are and being with your friends. Like it's like, being a 365 party girl, as Charli X says. So I appreciate Brat, and I think there's a little Brat in all of us. So I thought her performance was very funny, and just very Charli XCX.
What were your favorite performances, or what stuck out to you? Because Charli's isn't my favorite, but that's literally the performance I remember because it was the most shocking.
Well, I feel like online people were talking about Sabrina Carpenter's because she was in this little outfit and she was kind of being comedic. I thought it was cute. Benson Boone. Did you know who that was?
Who is that, Laura? No.
I had not heard of him. And then when he performed his song, I was like, oh, I've heard this. Like, I think I've heard it on the radio, but he like blew up. He's like a one-hit wonder, kind of like Teddy Swims. Both of them just had like a song that really blew up.
So young.
I know. But he's known for doing backflips apparently. Did not know that. Chappell Roan performed. She was fine. Pink Pony Club is not my favorite song, so I was kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, I always am surprised when people don't sing their most popular songs. That's what I'm saying with the Grammys. It's like sometimes performances.
I'm like, really? I mean, I definitely have to say Doechii was a huge standout. She's just like so unique, so Black, so unapologetic. I love the choreography. She was like being thrown and lifted into the air. There was like a treadmill kind of thing, and it was just really, really cool. So I loved her performance. That really stood out. Um, I mean, the Quincy Jones tribute. What do you think of that with Stevie Wonder and Janelle Monáe? I thought that was such a great moment.
Ugh, iconic. Stevie Wonder has one of the most like famous voices
I love
ever,
him.
right? Like we love him. So it was cool to see the duet. And like that's a duet I could get behind. Like sometimes in the past, I feel like Grammy duets would be like so random. But I'm like, oh, that's like a cool mashup and the voices sound good together. Like I approve.
Yes. Yeah, I thought Janelle Monáe's like Michael Jackson impersonation, she was saying, "Don't stop till you get enough." It was wild. Her outfit was wild. And I loved how like Janelle Monáe jumped on a bodyguard and he was like piggybacking her. Yeah, that was wild. So I thought Janelle Monáe was really, really good. And someone else, did you see Shakira? Oh my gosh.
Nice. I was so first of all, she looks amazing. I'm
Uh,
like, Shakira,
she has
are
not
you
aged.
like what's going on? Is
Oh
this
my
Benjamin
gosh.
Button or like you look
Right.
she's 48. I'm like, there's no way she's 48. I don't
That's
believe it.
impossible. How?
She looks
She looks so
insane.
good. And the body roll she was doing, I actually was like I was shaking. I was like, this is insane. I loved Shakira's
She looks
performance.
great.
Stand out. And I thought it was funny. Did you like notice Taylor Swift dancing in the audience to like every single song?
No, I didn't.
You can kind of see it, but I feel like she's kind of known for this. She's very animated and,
Speaking of Taylor Swift, what did you think about her red dress and then like the T charm? Did you see the T charm at
oh,
the bottom of her red dress where people were like, is that for Taylor? Is that Travis? Is it both?
that's funny. I did not notice the T charm. I thought her outfit was interesting. I thought it was kind of simple.
I was
Um,
surprised. I was like, she looks okay. Yeah.
yeah, but it was pretty. Like she looked good. She was doing like the Angelina Jolie with the leg. She had her leg sticking
Mhm,
out.
mhm.
But yeah, she looked good. I feel like red is one of her colors. She always has a red lipstick. So
Wow, is it?
yeah. So no, she looked good. I think there wasn't anyone who like really, really stood out to
No,
me fashion wise.
I agree.
But I mean Beyonce always looks fantastic, so I liked her outfit.
I agree.
Yeah, were there other people whose fashion stood out to you?
Well, have you heard about this whole like Kanye West and Bianca crashing the Grammys red carpet thing?
I saw a headline briefly. Tell us.
Okay, so apparently Kanye West and his wife Bianca were not invited to the Grammys, but showed up anyway and walked the red carpet. And Bianca, I guess, is known for wearing like very little clothing and being
Yes.
provocative. So she's
Yes.
on the red carpet with a huge fur coat and then drops it and has like this scandalous outfit on where it's like she's basically nude and you can see her breasts. You can see everything.
Oh no.
And it is like really bad, Laura. So that is a least favorite moment. That's the worst fashion.
That is so
Look how far
embarrassing.
Kanye's fallen. Like,
I know, it's so sad.
ooh,
Yikes.
brutal.
Yikes.
And apparently he had people think been kind of threatening Taylor Swift again. So they were like,
Ooh,
even like because he posted on Instagram how he only follows Taylor Swift on Instagram,
yes, I
and
heard
people
about
were like,
that.
"What does that mean? What are you doing?" Like, so I think there was also concern about like him being there when she's there.
Yikes.
What a clown!
It's giving clown. Were there any surprises or upsets from the ceremony?
Well, speaking of Taylor, she lost every single award she was nominated
Ooh.
for. I mean, I don't know much about Tortured Poets Department,
I could not tell you a single song off the album.
so
But
no.
my Swiftie friend was like, "This is one of her best albums." So like, I haven't listened to it, and obviously it was nominated for a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I was surprised that she didn't win anything. The Grammys love her, right? They give her
Yeah,
a
so
lot.
it was like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Beyonce and Kendrick winning, Taylor Swift not? Like, I was like, someone pitch me!
What's going on?
I
Yeah,
couldn't believe it.
that was surprising. Okay, Shelby? What were your overall thoughts of the Grammys? Was this ceremony a wait or a watch?
I think it's a watch. It's hard to know if this is like a trend, like, okay, it's back, they're gonna continue to be good, or is this just a really good show that our country, city, world needed?
I know.
Would have just been like a cool combination of factors, right? All the ladies nominated, the Beyonce momentum and drama that she finally won Album of the Year. like the LA wildfire crisis, support and money raised. Like there were a lot of things that I think made this show special and a lot of build
Yeah.
up. So let's see if they can carry it. But I definitely think this is a watch. Even if you don't watch the ceremony, like you can definitely just catch up on social media. It's like everywhere. I feel like
Yes.
everyone's talking about
Everyone's talking. Like when I tell you, I was not planning on watching it, but everything on my feed was like Grammys, Grammys, Grammys. I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. Yeah, and I agree. It is a watch. I did enjoy it. You know,
Mm,
maybe just fast forward. That's what I did through some
yeah.
stuff. But I thought a lot of the speeches were great. The performances overall, I watched all of them. I thought they were all very good.
Mhm.
And yeah, I thought it was a really great show. Like you said, so black, and the dedication to the wildfires was so great. They raised over
Good.
$7 million.
Real.
That's insane. Oh, and Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga singing together about
Yeah, Dark
California.
Smile. And they won a Grammy for their song.
I love that song. Shelby knows how much I love that
I
song.
know. I think it's solid.
Yes.
I don't love.
I love that song. So I was so happy that they won for that. I just also agreed with a lot of the wins. So I felt like the Grammys did it right this time.
It
They
made
did.
sense to us.
Yes.
Yes. And now for our What to Watch segment. Of course, right, you can actually watch the Grammy show. It's streaming on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
But there's some new albums from some artists that were, at the Grammys to keep in mind. You first have Lady Gaga finally coming out with new music. It's been a minute since she's been focusing on acting. And it makes sense that she's about to drop new music since she's headlining Coachella, So she's getting us ready for that. So definitely will be prepared. I wouldn't say we're like little monsters, but we like Gaga.
No, I would not say I'm a little monster, but I was very excited when she announced that she was headlining Coachella. That's what made Shelby and I mean, there are a bunch of other people who are there who we really love.
Yeah.
But right, like headline Lady Gaga, she's so iconic. So I'm excited to see her new album. She just dropped a new single called Abracadabra. And I watched the music video. It's very Bad Romance vibes. Very Bad Romance. So go watch that music video. And it feels like everyone's going on tour.
We want our money.
I know. I mean, The Weeknd performed, and he just announced a tour. Oh my goodness! I mean, we saw him it was like 3 years ago, 2022, and he was great. But I'm not rushing to see The Weeknd again. I feel like if he put out music
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I feel like his music in the past couple years, he hasn't done that much.
No.
So I'm like,
what is it for?
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm rushing to see that. And of course, SZA and Kendrick, they announced their tour like a while ago, and I have a lot of friends who are going. That's going to be amazing. And oh my goodness,
Tour of all tours.
Beyonce announced Cowboy Carter tour, guys.
What a weekend for her!
Are you kidding me?
She announced that she's going on tour without dropping dates, wins album of the year, and then announces dates.
It's too much. It's too much.
Ooh.
I'm overwhelmed.
That's
I am overwhelmed.
What she's doing.
I am so excited. I cannot wait. Shelby and I will be going. Did you get the email, Shelby, as a Beyonce.com subscriber?
I did, but because I was out all day, I did not sign up or do what I need to do.
Yes. So we're signing up. We're going to get our pre-sale tickets. Get your pre-sale tickets, everybody. I cannot wait. What is the song you're most excited to see Beyonce perform?
It's a tie between 16 Carriages and Two Hands to Heaven. 2 Hands to Heaven has become like a song that I was like, oh, I like that. But then over the last year, that's like a go-to. It's just so like romantic and sweet. Like when she's like, I've been waiting my whole life.
Yeah.
For you and I.
Okay, Beyonce. Okay, vocals.
Okay, but we are a fan.
Yes.
What you song are you looking for?
I also really love 16 Carriages. I mean, that song is everything. I love that song. I love Tyrant. Tyrant is fantastic with Dolly Parton. And I mean, Call Me Basic. Texas Hold'em is so fun. I think when I first heard it, I was like, I didn't like it. But it grew on me so much, and every time I hear it, I get so excited. So I feel like that's going to be insane. Like, imagine when everyone's there and she performs it. It's going to be crazy. So I just think it's going to be probably the most fun song that she performs.
That's right.
And a lot of people were like, okay, y'all who were hating on Cowboy Carter, Don't steal my pre-sale tickets. Shelby and I have been liking this album since it came out, so
I will say I was
gotta
not as
believe.
obsessed initially as Renaissance, but it's grown on me.
Yes,
But I was not
I
a hater.
agree.
I was
No.
not a hater.
Check out our Cowboy Carter review episode from last year, y'all. Check it out. Check it out. Oh
Uh,
my goodness. I must say, pleasantly surprised by the Grammys this year. It was quite
I'm sure.
entertaining. So I'm excited. I'm excited for music. I feel like 2024, a friend and I were saying it was a good year for music. So I'm
Right.
excited to see what happens this year.
Agreed. Come on, music, make it come back.
Yes. Okay, and if you enjoyed this episode of Sisters Who Watch, please give us 5 stars, y'all. 5 stars wherever you listen. That'd be much appreciated. Rate, download, subscribe, and you can follow us on social media at Sisters Who Watch.
Yes, thank you so much for the support, y'all. Please comment, like, DM, let us know what you think. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye. Stay watching.